right. Welcome, everyone, to the MMOs.com podcast. Episode 176 here. Oh, and we got a sub right off the bat. Ride 4. Greetings.
Much love.
And Alta here, joined by...
Remote. Here we are, another week. Episode number 176. Isn't that crazy? We've been doing this for over 3 years now.
It is crazy.
Oof, the time passes. 3 years. And it's almost like, I kind of want to do a look back episode, but maybe we can do that at the end of the year. We still have at least another week to go for that.
A retrospective.
Ooh, that's a very fancy way of saying look back. All right, I like that term, retrospective. But what's on the docket today, Alta? Any weekly raid this week?
No weekly raid, but I'll do a quick one right here. And we got a big game coming out tomorrow. A super ambitious game. A game that was only announced this month, right? At the beginning of this month. And if somebody told me the feature list for this game and said they were going to do a Kickstarter and it's going to come out in like 5 years and it's going to do all this stuff, I wouldn't have believed it. But they took a very different tact and they said, you know what? Game's ready tomorrow. Go try it. Tell me what you guys think. This game is going to have 40,000 people on a server, one server. The map size is 1,200 times bigger than the map in Ark Survival Evolved. And I mentioned that because it is by the same people that made that game. Unreal 4. And it's going to have ship battles and territory control and guild alliance and politics. And still the whole chopping trees and collecting rocks elements. So this is basically what Amazon promised us, like, what, 3 years ago, 2 years ago? With New
Forever
World?
ago with New World.
And we still got nothing.
Happened.
We got nothing. And then here comes Studio Wildcard and says, bam, you're getting it in 3 weeks. And that's going to be tomorrow, the launch.
So I looked at the trailer. She showed that off, and it looks mega hype. And it's also coming off the heels of, I would say, a pretty rather disappointing game of, what was it? What was that Pirates game from Microsoft?
Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves. I mean, the concept of Sea of Thieves is interesting, but when I played Sea of Thieves, and when I just saw how, like, lack of ambition it was, the game has, like, 16 players per server. Like, what the fuck? 16 players in this giant-ass ocean? You almost never see anybody. I think while I played the game, I encountered, like, I played for at least, like, 5-6 hours, and I encountered, like, 3 people the entire time, and I was looking for people to mess around with, which is really weird. Whereas this game is taking a completely different approach. It's having 16-player servers, like you said, up to 40,000 in this giant, concurrent, massive, persistent world, which is pretty intense.
There is a lot of healthy skepticism, including this chat. And I'm not trying to be a hype machine here. You know what? I bet it will lag like shit tomorrow, right? And it might never work. But what I'm saying here and what I'm defending and what I really like and I want to see more of, and I will be buying it. It's $30. It's not free to play. It's $30 one-time purchase. And the reason I'm going to support it is because even if it sucks ass, guess what? They didn't drag us around and yank us around for 5 years, you know, with these like early pre-sale, pre-order alpha founders pack edition,
$100 bundles, $200.
Come on,
shit,
I'm tired of all that. You know what? Here's the game. It's coming out in 2 weeks. $30. Buy it or wait, whatever, man. So you know what? If you don't want to buy it tomorrow, wait a week and see what people think. You don't have to wait 5 years. You don't have to wait 8 years. So I am very, very hopeful. Pass or fail, this game. I hope this model of announcing a game and actually coming out, you know, like that year or that month even is an amazing change of pace for the MMO industry, and I want to see more of this.
I mean, the game looks beautiful. I mean, I am one thing I'm a little hesitant about is just how awful it's going to run. It's by Studio Wildcard. They're the ones that are doing Ark Survival Evolved, and if you've played Ark Survival Evolved or even the Battle Royale spinoff, the game never really ran very well. Like the engine, I don't know what it was, but I never got good frames in that game. It just never optimized really well. The way I mean, Rust also ran pretty poorly until like somewhat more recently. But having 40,000 players and a map that's 1,200 times the scale of Ark, I'm just hoping it runs really well. That's like my biggest concern, because if a game doesn't run well or runs like ass, it's going to instantly kill the game for me. I mean, the biggest turnoff for Bless for me was just how awful it ran. Because if it ran well, maybe there was something there worth playing, even though it was still kind of generic. There was something there worth exploring. But because how ass it ran, you just couldn't play Bless. The game was garbage because it just ran so poorly. So this trailer looks nice, and everything's running smoothly in the trailer, but we'll see how it actually ends up looking in game.
And it is. Someone asked, it's going to be running Unreal Engine 4, which is the same as Ark. So that could make you a little skeptical. But I'm hopeful that the previous year and this year, the updates made to the Unreal Engine, specifically by Epic, which runs the engine, to accommodate their own game, Fortnite, the scale of it, the size. I remember when Fortnite first came out, I think the tick rate was like 12 or something. And now it's running beautifully, Fortnite. And I think it's because they poured a lot of resources into making the engine more accommodating of multiplayer, you know, with lots of players. With that said, what these guys are trying to do with Atlas is way more ambitious than anything Fortnite does, right? With like 100 players.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, guys. When this game goes live on Steam tomorrow, it's gonna crash. Like it's gonna be a disaster.
Yeah.
For the first day,
clusterfuck.
yes. So
has to be.
If you want to avoid the first day clusterfuck, just wait. But at this point, I'm used to the clusterfuck. We did it with Conan Exiles, which is probably still a clusterfuck.
Mm-hmm.
Diablo 3, when it launched by Blizzard, big company, used to big launches, it was a clusterfuck. So it's just something to be expected with games of this size.
I also wish I'm really hoping there's a lot to do in the game too, because if you played the Pirates game, I keep forgetting the name. I don't know why, but the Microsoft Pirates game with 16 players, like there was nothing to do after if you play the game for like 6 hours, you explore like everything there was to do in the game at launch, which was terrible. So I'm hoping there's some depth here, and with territory controls, just having 40,000 players, kind of, even if there's like a lot of functionality in the game, having that many people is going to create their own like mini dramas. Like you're going to hate certain people, you're going to go after them, try to control certain areas. Just having a lot of players in one room creates it stirs the pot. It creates a lot of controversy. It creates a lot of like people making their own enemies. So it's going to create its own story by having so many players.
Exactly.
So even if they're light on content, they'll be carried a bit by that. But I still want there to be a shit ton of stuff to do. I want to be able to build tons of different kinds of ships, tons of different kind of bases, different weapons. I want there to be a lot to do in the game.
Exactly. And unlike Sea of Thieves, like you said, it's only like 16 players or something.
Yeah.
So you can't have any, and they're not persistent. There's no persistence,
Yeah.
right? You just sail off into an instance. This is all persistent. So at least you have the ability to have your own story, like you said. And then the developers in an interview specifically said they were inspired by EVE Online's politic and territory system. So they want guilds and alliances and groups of people to fight over long periods of time, months, over certain territories and islands. So it's very ambitious, and this is kind of the dream game I was waiting for since I played EVE. I wanted a more grounded EVE, with like physical walls and units, and because EVE is just a huge math simulator basically. So this, and again, I'm not trying to hype it up. It's probably just going to be a buggy mess, right? But regardless of the fact that they are releasing it into your hands instead of just making these promises and then just taking your money for 5 years.
Camelot Unchained, Crowfall, fucking Chronicles of Illyria. Some of these games have been like in
Star Citizen.
Star Citizen, like, oh my god, I'm so tired of having my dick yanked for the last like 6 years of some of these games. Like, what the fuck? Now, original Star Citizen release date was supposed to be like in like 2 years or something, or whatever it was on the original Kickstarter page. It's been forever. So look, like I said, the game's gonna come out, and they're actually owned. Studio Wildcard is owned by a Chinese company. They're owned by Snail Games.
Yep.
They got bought out like in the past, and they kind of didn't disclose it, which is kind of weird. Like the fact that they're owned by a Chinese company, like Chinese companies are very shady in monetization, and they're very heavy on going pay to win. We all know that, obviously, but they also have a remarkable ability to get shit done sometimes. Like Chinese games, they release quick, and for the most part, they're pretty well optimized. They just work. Now, I've played some Chinese battle royale games. I played a Chinese Overwatch clone the other day. They run really well. For some reason, Chinese companies, Chinese developers, they know how to rip. They're really good at copying American games. They love violating copyrights. They love cheating in video games, and they're just really good programmers, I guess, because that shit always works. I played 300 Heroes. Okay, it's like we talked about this, I think 2 weeks ago or last week. Like the weirdest MOBA game. It's completely knockoff of League and copies copyright characters from every other game. But that game runs beautifully from champ select to loading time, to when you're in the game. Ready? If you play League of Legends, after everybody picks their champion, we're all locked in. It says you see the splash screen for League of Legends. It pops up and there's a big loading screen.
Oh, you froze.
In 300, in 300 heroes, okay, in 300 heroes with, it's a 7 versus 7 game with 14 players. It loads in under 2 seconds. 2 seconds to go from everyone locked in to being in the game. 2 seconds. God bless those Chinese and their uncanny ability to get shit done. All right, they don't know how to monetize fairly, maybe design good games, but they got the optimizations down. All right.
I especially like what you said. That reminded me of the Counter-Strike game we tried. What was it? Danger Zone. So Counter-Strike has a battle royale with 18 players now, and when you queue in, all 18 players have to click ready, like accept. And if one of them doesn't do that, everybody gets kicked back into the queue. So the first time I played the game, I actually happened 3 times. 3 times at least one person wasn't ready. And remember, it gives them time before it's not like they clicked not ready. They just waited the timer out. So it took a long time to get into a game, which was really frustrating.
Mm-hmm. At least the Chinese got that figured out. So I'm optimistic on that front.
And you played Ring of Elysium a lot lately as well, right?
Yeah, I played with Canaris and a couple of my buddies. I have at least like 10 hours or more maybe in Ring of Elysium, and like it's another Chinese developed game. 16 hours. It's by
It
Tencent.
came out of nowhere. Like I remember when I saw it on the
Mhm.
Steam, I was like, wow. And I played it, and I didn't keep playing it like you did, but it worked. It was a functioning, full scale battle royale.
It runs beautifully. They only have 60 players per map, which is kind of sad compared to like 100 for Fortnite and PUBG. But it runs beautifully. It runs way better, infinitely better than PUBG, which is a better comparison, I think, because it's like a tactical game like PUBG with bullet drop and bullet travel time and these little details that Fortnite doesn't really have. Fortnite was mostly hit scan, except for snipers and stuff, but it doesn't have the 100 players. But it still runs beautifully, and I like the game a lot. It actually does a lot different. At least they actually innovated with this one as well. Every other battle royale game, you fight to be the last one standing. I don't know if you made it to the end of Ring of Elysium, but it's really really intense because basically on the last circle, there's like usually 15 players, 20 players remaining, right? And the last circle, there's basically a helicopter appears, and it drops a rope ladder and says, there's only seats for 4 people. Get on quick, and then four players make it to the helicopter. If you don't make the helicopter, you lose. And obviously, when you're climbing the helicopter rope ladder, you can get shot by anyone else camping it,
Oh.
So you go for the full YOLO. The second it drops, you just YOLO for it and hope nobody shoots you. Or you wait to shoot everybody else. Or you shoot smoke grenades. Or you give your friend cover who's climbing it. Like, there's a few ways to approach it. And it's interesting because even if you got the most frags, if you're the last one standing, it doesn't matter. You got to make the helicopter to win, which it's kind of neat,
Yeah, I do like that. And I like the fact that the sole purpose of the game is not just to kill each other.
Yeah.
It's to escape, right? And obviously killing people helps you along the way there.
Mm-hmm. It's neat. Definitely a neat concept. And Chinese are, I respect Chinese game developers, all right? They get shit done.
Indeed. All right, what do you got for us this week? I got one story about Niantic and Pokemon Go that I want to get off.
It's a fun one. Let's talk about that.
All right, so everyone knows Pokemon Go. We all played it for like a week and stopped, right? But apparently it's still making a lot of money. A ton of money.
A lot of money.
Yes. In fact, Niantic, which is a company that makes Pokemon Go, is now worth $4 billion. And to put that into perspective, that is more than the entire value of Square Enix, the company that makes all those games, all the Final Fantasy games, the Dragon Quest games. They have an MMORPG, or 2, or 3 actually, Dragon Quest, FF11 and 14. They got a whole bunch of mobile games. And
whole bunch of mainline console games as well.
Yep.
Big franchises. They own the Tomb Raider games as well.
That's true.
Tomb Raider, they own a lot. Square Enix is almost like his historic gaming company. They've been around for such a long time. They have major franchises, and here comes Pokemon Go with literally like one game, which is actually just a reskin of Ingress, their other game, and they're worth $4 billion. And all of Square Enix is worth $3.28 billion, which is nuts. It's absolutely, Life is Strange as well. It's crazy that this company comes out of nowhere and makes Pokemon Go and being worth $4 billion. Oof! Time to buy Square Enix stock, boys. That's the play. That's your MMO financial advice of the week.
That's takeaway. What about Pokemon Go stock? Go buy some Pokeballs.
Well, go buy Nintendo stock as well if you want. But I think Nintendo's a better play because they indirectly own the IP for that. As some people are aware, I actually follow these gaming companies quite closely. I do quite a bit of investing as well, and companies like Square Enix, Nintendo, Activision Blizzard, EA, these are always on my agenda. Now, I actually owned Square Enix for a while. I sold and made a lot of money investing with them, and they're actually unbelievably cheap now. So that is not financial advice, but go buy Square Enix. All right, that's my disclosure. Even though I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to say that, but
inside advice there.
Yeah. Actually, just to let you know just how insane mobile is as well. We've talked about this in the past, but I wanted to get a small update to this story, and this is why we're only gonna get mobile games, boys. This is an article I put back up in August about Fire Emblem Heroes making $400 million, and so Fire Emblem Heroes made more money than the last 10 best-selling Fire Emblem games combined in total revenue, right? However, I have an update to the story right now that the game actually made $465 million in revenue since release now. So the number's been updated by 65 million. So as of today, Fire Emblem Heroes on mobile has made more money, get this, than literally every other Fire Emblem game combined in history. Add up every other Fire Emblem game, every platform, Fire Emblem Heroes has made more money than all of those combined, which is absolutely nuts. And guess what? I bet you Fire Emblem Heroes probably cost the least to make out of all the big games.
They're new. By the way, they were passed by Draconica. Did you hear about that? Dragalia Lost or whatever it's called?
Dragalia Lost.
Dragalia Lost. That actually had made more money recently, this last month, than Fire Emblem. So I think Nintendo's going to figure out that the money is in mobile.
Yeah, so if you look at actually what was pretty astounding on the Dragalia Lost figures, Sensor Tower. I actually, if you're interested in these mobile game stats, I dropped the link to it, by the way. It's a Sensor Tower, has really good data on basically all these mobile games. So Nintendo's Dragalia Lost has made $50 million since launching in September. Obviously, it made less revenue overall in the first 2 launch months than Fire Emblem Heroes, but the money they make per user is actually insanely high. So since release between Japan and the US, the game makes about $22 per install, which is insane. Have you downloaded Dragalia Lost? On average, everyone who's ever downloaded and installed this game has spent $22 on average, which is insane. That's almost like a full budget game. $22 for a download. These are free to play games, but the average person who downloads Dragalia Lost ends up spending $22. If you spent less than that, or you spent zero, you're an anomaly, I guess. That's crazy.
It is. It's amazing.
That is mind blowing. By the way, just for reference sake, Fire Emblem Heroes averaged about $9 per install during the first 2 months of its launch. So $22, like almost more than double what Fire Emblem Heroes made on a per user basis. It's absolutely insane. Yeah, I'll tell you. Check your mic, by the way. You might have you dropped a bunch of stuff in the background. I don't know what that was.
I think I'm good.
Are you better now? Yeah, you're better now. Actually, going back to Atlas for a second, because before we move too much past that, I saw a pretty funny thread on Reddit, which I have to share with you all. So today's focus on the Atlas subreddit is there's no region lock, and there's a picture here saying the Chinese are coming, which is, oddly, it's silly, but it's actually slightly worrying, because if you've played any online games, I mean, this is not going to be very PC of me to say, but Chinese are generally cheaters. Okay, like they're vastly more likely to be cheating in online games. And I had the data to back me up. This ain't coming straight out of my ass. This is a real statistic. I mean, if you ever played PUBG on Steam, you know how bad it is. It became a meme. Everyone was spamming. Basically, every time PUBG launched an update, every single comment was region lock China in the comments. Every single one. And I think at one point, the developers of PUBG said something like, "Oh, you guys are just being racist, saying us the region lock China." But if you look at the stats, BattleEye themselves, BattleEye is responsible for is the anti-cheat build into PUBG. They themselves revealed that 99% of players they banned for cheating were Chinese. How is that possible? 99% of people that were cheating were Chinese. I think obviously a lot of Chinese play the game. They're probably maybe like half the player base or something, right? But if 99% of the people you're banning are Chinese, there's something wrong. And I think it was we had a conversation about Chinese. You read an interesting article a long time ago. You mentioned it to me that cheating on standardized tests and stuff isn't necessarily frowned upon in China. Like it's bad to get caught, but it's such like you kind of expected to try cheating. If you get away with it, it's like good for you. It's not as like frowned upon as it is here in the West. Do you remember the article or no, Altai?
Vaguely. Do you remember where it was from?
Ooh, no, it's been at least like a year since you pointed out to me. But like obviously if you get caught cheating, you still flunk, right? But like society kind of like expects you to try cheating,
Yeah, and
you're expected to do it.
And it's not just games. That is a universal thing in China. So like even on like, the entrance exams, like cheating is just like considered a strategy, like an equally valid strategy as studying. Yeah.
You want the studying strategy? I want the cheating strategy. They're both viable. Like it's fine. We both aced our test. My strat was better. I did it in less time. They're viable strats to get to. It's almost like the ends do justify the means. In that regards to cheating, and we've seen it across so many multiplayer games where the Chinese are also the ones that typically end up botting in mass. Which also breaking also a form of cheating in a lot of games. So it happens. So a lot of people are concerned that the Chinese are going to end up ruining, at least hurting the experience for Atlas.
So I am not from the UK, and I just did a quick Google thing, right? So I don't know if this is a real website or not. Telegraph? Is this like tabloid or is this real?
I mean, it's a real big website. I don't know if they're a tabloid.
So okay, so the headline is Riot after Chinese teachers try to stop pupils cheating.
What?
I love it.
All right, so apparently there's a big protest. They demand the right to cheat, boys. But so somebody commented, "Tasty Bagels." It's a news, so it's a real source. So it's so bizarre. Like I remember reading articles like this too, and it's so weird from the Western perspective. That I mean, the data backs it up too with how many people are getting banned in PUBG. So it really does create a good reason for Western gamers to want to region lock China, and it has nothing to do with racism. And I remember the point the PUBG developers actually mentioned like it was going to be a racist thing. if you wanted to region lock China.
That's so weird. I think I'm actually surprised. I thought Atlas was going to be region locked because I remember them saying they're going to have 2 servers, one for PvP, one for PvE, in each region they're in.
Mm-hmm.
So you would figure Asia or China at least would have its own region, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that makes no sense to me why they would do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a mistake. Not from like a racist point, but just the server load perspective and the ping perspective.
Mm-hmm. I was trying to find the exact quote about the people calling it racist, but I can't find it right now. But it's just beyond bizarre that people can't just look at the data and be like, listen, it's in our best interest to just region lock the area. Plus, I mean, China's a huge region, so they could easily have their own player base to fill the servers.
Yeah, exactly. Because remember, there will be some kind of cap at 40K, because obviously you can't just have unlimited people on one server. And I don't know. I think it just makes sense to have one server for America, one for Europe, and I'm not like, what about people who think that even Europe should, I think, have its own server, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it's a race thing. I think it's just a common sense paying issue and server population.
I mean, with PUBG, it was just a cheating issue. I mean, nobody really cares about playing. I don't think anyone reasonably cares who they're playing with. If anything, if people are racist against Chinese, they want to play against Chinese and beat them in the game.
Actually, I would disagree with that. I think Counter-Strike did this. This is the first time I noticed this with Counter-Strike. But I was playing a Counter-Strike match with somebody, I think, in Singapore, right? Mm-hmm. And it kicked me off the server. And I didn't cheat. And then I read about it, and they told me, it's because your ping was too high. But if you have a very high ping relative to the server, it actually messes other players' gameplay.
Yes.
If you're like hiding behind a wall after you shoot and stuff, it could be weird if you're playing with 400 ping or something. So I actually think just ping alone is a good enough excuse for this. You don't cheating is another thing, but I think just ping alone is enough.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a good rule by Counter-Strike.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely, because with the way bullets register and how lag compensation works, yeah, it makes sense for the lower pings and stuff. Also, this is a nice and not quite end of the year, but end of the year tweet post by our boys over at Super Data. You know how much we love data here on the MMOs.com podcast. I find this stuff very fascinating. These are the top 10 free-to-play games across all platforms worldwide this year in terms of revenue. Can you guess what the number one, Altai, without looking?
I already brought it up.
All right, good old Fortnite Battle Royale takes the number one spot because that's counting console, that's counting PC and mobile. Across all platforms, it is the highest grossing game of 2018 so far. Now, I don't think they're counting Honor of Kings revenue correctly because according to Bloomberg data, that number should be like almost twice as much of what Fortnite's making. But based on their analytics, it looks like Honor of Kings sits at number 2. Interestingly, League of Legends is not even number 2. League of Legends is number 5. All right, do you have any idea what the fuck QQ speed is, Altai?
No clue. I'm gonna guess a Chinese racing game on your phone.
Yeah, we should just search on YouTube QQ speed.
All right.
Let's see what QQ speed. There are videos of this though. It is a Chinese racing game. You're right, but who would have guessed it's a mobile racing game?
Obviously.
I didn't know like these racing games were this popular. I mean, obviously here in America we get like Forza, and like these like NASCAR racing games and. I don't know. We see them once in a while, right? Like, I've seen ads for them at least, but they're never like that big. They're like, yeah, they'll sell like 1 million copies here and there, right? It doesn't really move the needle. But if you look at QQ speed, apparently,
it looks so bad. Like it's like this I guess
cartoon
teenager.
Game, yeah.
Not even that cartoon. Like a teenager in this teeny tiny cart. It looks so silly.
Well, what you're seeing is the default cart, all right? I thought you haven't seen the pay to win cart yet, all right? You want to see the pay to win cart?
See it.
All right, that boy's rocking the default gamer, right? Once you bust out the credit card, you get the big shit, right? You get the you get the speedy.
Oh my god, how is this fair?
Yeah, imagine racing against the other guy without any of those rockets on his fucking thing, all right?
Damn.
And you know it's because of the Chinese game. There's 100% pay to win. Like,
bro, I've seen the same video you linked me. All right, you're just a different part of it.
All right.
All right, let's see what happens. Does he get a better cart later? No, look how funny this looks. Like.
But you know what this tells me too? Nintendo is fucking stupid for not making a mobile Mario Kart game already. Like, what the fuck is QQ speed? Like, even Chinese players, they know what Mario Kart is, right?
Yeah.
If they just
hold up. Look at these item boxes in this game.
All right, I'm looking.
Okay, look, it's coming up.
Oh my god, they're identical. They're identical to Mario.
Identical.
You've got the squid. You've got the squid that drops the ink. Oh. I saw what item he got. Like what is this game? Probably makes it's like the 4th highest grossing game in the world, right, for free to play. So It's insane that Nintendo's letting this go. Like, this is such a big market. And Nintendo could be like, you know what, Tencent, we're too dumb to make mobile games. Take Mario Kart and make it yourself. Like, they could do that. You know, Nintendo has been known to license their games. In fact, Nintendo's already at a point where they don't know. They've admitted they can't make mobile games. If you look at like all the mobile games they've already made, it was done by either Dena or Cygames. You know, for example, Dragalia Lost. Nintendo didn't make Dragalia Lost. They partnered with Cygames, a different like smaller game studio in Japan. They make they're also known for making Shadowverse, right? They made Dragalia Lost. It's almost like saying Blizzard is going to make Diablo Immortal. No, they're not. NetEase is making Diablo Immortal, and they're slapping the Blizzard name on it. Just like Dragalia Lost is slapping the Nintendo name on it. Nintendo's not making that shit. It's made of Cygames. And that's for every single Nintendo mobile game. Dena made Fire Emblem Heroes. It wasn't Nintendo that made it. So Nintendo is already in this business, and they're crazy for not just making a mobile Mario Kart in China, and they kick QQ Speed's ass.
It is. Oh, he hit a banana.
This game, by the way, this game makes more money than League of Legends.
Yep.
This game makes over $1 billion a year. This is a $1 billion franchise, boys. You are seeing a $1 billion franchise, QQ Speed. All right, let's go to some QQ Speed eSports, all right, boys? Got to see some tournaments for this shit.
Future gaming.
You know, you can get the golden item block if you pay $5. All right. Increases chance to get star by 20% if you equip this hat. I guarantee. I bet you this game has got stuff like that.
Oh, definitely. Let me see if there's any other videos. Let's see this one. I want to take a different level.
Mm-hmm. I really want to see the cash shop. More importantly, I wish I could see the, like, what's in the cash shop. I can't. You know, maybe I'll download it and let like Donut translate it for me. I was in the cash shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I could find it. Like, the game makes so much money that I have no doubt it's gonna be pay to win. Because we can all download it because on mobile. Mobile games are very easy to play. Games don't do a very good job of like IP blocking those versus PC games. A lot of PC games are IP blocked or region locked, but not these games.
Oh, look at this racer. She's like an angel in like the Batmobile with a griffin or something. Pet.
Ooh, I'm liking what I'm seeing. I like her vehicle. I like her.
Go.
Ooh, she's got a bird in there too.
Damn,
Not sure what the bird's doing.
Look at these drifts.
Hype. Oh, damn.
Oh, she messed up right there.
Step it up, girl.
All right, interesting game. But yeah,
Right,
yeah. What do you
That's
got?
the fourth biggest game, which is insane. Anything else on this list that's interesting for you, Altai?
Let's go back to that list for a second. Where was that list?
I'm surprised League of Legends is not higher. I mean, we've all
There we
known
go.
Dungeon Fighter Online was huge. You know, the game still makes more money than World of Warcraft. But League of Legends being so low on the list surprised me. I mean, Pokemon Go is right afterwards. You know,
I think League of Legends has definitely lost its cachet this year, and I see that, you know, in just people not playing as much anymore.
Yeah. I mean, MOBAs, I think, as a whole, have lost their cachet. You know, this year, we've already seen a big bombshell announcement from Blizzard saying basically, HOTS is basically dead. You know, they're pulling all esports events for 2019. And like, that'd be one thing, they cut back marketing on it, right? That's one thing, right? That's normal, whatever, it's no big deal. But they're pulling away devs from the game to work on other titles. They made that announcement publicly that they're going to get their best people off the game and do something else. Because they're basically done with HOTS.
That's true. That's a good point. Yeah, let me find that article.
It's probably one of the biggest like MOBA news of the week. You know, we've talked about it in the podcast just how MOBAs were doing. I mean, League of Legends revenue is down 20% year over year. Now HOTS is basically giving up. You know, 2018 I think is a pretty pivotal year. It's not the death of the MOBA. MOBAs aren't going to go away, right? But this is a turning point, I think, for MOBAs no longer being like the most popular genre in the world. You know, Battle Royale is kind of taking, you know, kind of grabbing that headlight. But then again, you have Honor of Kings on mobile, took away a lot of those users as well. So if you count mobile revenues, I'm sure probably the MOBA genre probably still grew overall. But Battle Royale came out of absolutely nowhere, and it's been dominating.
I love the headline, guys, for this article announcing HOTS basically stopping development for all intents and purposes. Heroes of the Storm news. ... I cannot believe they went with that meme. The ...
So if you look at the, like, I want to show you just how crazy Battle Royale has been. I mean, obviously, me saying Battle Royale has gotten really big is only one thing. This is a chart from, it only goes to May of 2018. But if you look at the hours watched by genre across all platforms worldwide, for just, I guess it counts Twitch, YouTube. These are the kinds of, like, look how much Battle Royale came out of nowhere in 2017 and exploded. 2017 to 2018. Battle Royale games are watched more than twice as much as MOBAs. And on top of that, we've seen, you know, Dota 2's numbers decline as well.
Oh, wow. That's an interesting chart.
Yeah, for all people that play HOTS. I mean, I've enjoyed HOTS quite a bit. The cool core. I have a few friends that play HOTS as well. I've played a good amount of HOTS, ranked masters in HOTS for the last 3 seasons running. Easy clap. I don't play it that much, but I'm still sad to see because I do think Alta made a good point in the pregame that if I think Blizzard really screwed up with HOTS. I mean, what they shouldn't have thrown all this money at it. What they did was they were really trying to create this esports scene when the game was too new and it didn't have an esports scene.
Yes,
League of Legends didn't have an esports scene at the beginning.
Yep.
See, they talk about that. That's a really good observation you made.
Right. So, I actually thought HOTS was in a good place. It wasn't like as big as League and Dota, but it was steadily growing, and I saw more and more people playing it like casually, right? And at the same time, you had League and Dota losing players. I think Blizzard made the wrong decision in trying to kind of juice that growth, boost it with pouring all this money into esports, right? If you notice, the major esports games like Counter-Strike and stuff, they initially started even League started with outside companies, third parties, just loving the game and running these tournaments, right? And then eventually Riot took it in-house with the what's it called? I don't know, League or something, League seasons or whatever. But initially, the League pro scene was independent of Riot Games.
Counter-Strike as well. All these games. Yeah,
exactly. And Dota as well, Dota 1. So that meant there's real interest in the esports part, right? And then they poured gasoline on this lit fire. But what Blizzard tried to do with HOTS is they thought that by pouring the gasoline, the fire would just start on its own. So it was a waste of money. It was the wrong thing. They should just slow burned and increase the heroes or whatever, the maps, just made the game better, and that would have attracted esports people. And then once they're kind of playing for fun professionally, then you can kind of enter the scene. So yeah, I think it's bad.
We've seen this mistake with a lot of game companies, not just Blizzard. Like every game, they immediately try throwing money at like this esports scene and hoping like something happens out of it. But that's just money wasted. Like all those marketing dollars could be spent on just like solely developing the game, building an audience over time. Because when you spend money like crazy like that, if you don't see a return on that investment, like from the very high level, Blizzard's looking at HOTS like, oh shit, we lost like $80 million in this game. Okay, time to cancel it. Like, wait a minute, like you lost X amount of money because you spent like $100 million on bullshit esports when the game is not ready for it yet. It's such a quick way to lose money. Like, it's so weird that games are doing this. Even more obscure games are launching like supporting esports now. Like, I showed you like there was an esports scene for. I looked at the official was it Zula page, like this really obscure FPS game. Maybe it wasn't Zula. I forgot what it's called. They were trying to throw money at esports, and like it's such a waste of money. You can't do that. Your game has to take off first, and then you spend money on it.
Yes, exactly. You need to have an organic interest in people playing your game competitively, and then you can support them with all this infrastructure and prize money. But you can't start with that and then be like, all right, guys, our game is great now. Because all you do is raise expectations. You raise the amount of money the company has to make to justify running that game. And then that's a problem, because if you can't meet that, then the game loses developers, like it happened with HOTS.
This is the Zula Pro League right there. All right, this game is in no position to be doing esports. They're just pissing away money. This game is not big enough to justify this. Absolutely waste. Like they're never going to recoup that money. Like in fact, just trying to download and play Zula is a nightmare. Like the launcher barely works. Okay, like just like I wanted to play this game yesterday. I had to go through so many hoops. It's barely functional to even get into the game. Why are they spending money on esports? What an unbelievable waste of money. I mean, obviously HOTS is a bigger game than this too, but let the community build over time. And I think if you look at the Super Data Research numbers on HOTS and MOBAs as well, HOTS was actually gaining market share. Like Dota 2 was losing, League was dipping, HOTS was gaining. The trend was actually good for Heroes of the Storm. And the only reason I think it's going to get it got pretty much canceled now is they looked at the financial results and they weren't making money on it. But of course, they were wasting money with it. That's why. They just let it run slowly. It would have been fine.
Yeah, I agree. And it's sad because like it was growing. It had people playing. It didn't need this esports push out of nowhere. It just needed for the game to keep getting better. Oh, well, there it is. Kneecapped.
Pirate for Bath, is it Chinese CSGO knockoff? No, there are plenty of. Oh my God, this guy's in Dust. This is Dust too.
This is Dust.
Oh, he's in Dust too. He's at B. What's going on? They completely copied I never even seen this video. Holy shit! Oh, this is Dust too. Oh, he's going towards CD spawn, double doors, baby. Oh, this guy's in pit. He's camping. Oh my God. Okay, this is a complete shameless ripoff. This is actually a Turkish game. Zula is a Turkish developed FPS game. Clearly, this map is a carbon copy of Dust 2. It's pretty hilarious. Gotta respect them.
Butch Dragon, I almost forgot about Paragon. That's right. Even Epic had a MOBA that they saw the writing on the wall and basically yanked. I don't know if you heard about this too. I think this happened last week. Epic Games said we're stopping development on Unreal Tournament, which was always there in the Unreal launcher, even though it was kind of floating.
Yeah,
there.
nobody played it. We played it once. It felt unfinished. It felt like an engine test.
Exactly, and now it's. I think it's still going to remain up actually, but they basically said we're not going to work on it. We gave up on that project.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. The game wasn't really going anywhere anyway.
Yeah.
Oof. Chinese. This is a Turkish knockoff. Good for them.
I love this guy's gun. It's like glowing.
Even the knives, right? So much of the playstyle in this game and the looks and the way the knives look are just so obviously shamelessly stolen from CSGO. I mean, CSGO is really the only FPS game that's been like standing like over all these years. CS it doesn't need a refresh. It basically it's been top dog for such a long time. You know, they don't release a new one every year, but people keep coming back.
You know what we should do? A pay-to-lose model. So, for example, I can't imagine these fluorescent guns helping you with the camouflage, right?
No, definitely not.
So, I think imagine you just pay for skins, but the skins make it easier to see you. So, you're actually paying for a disadvantage. That would be the big brain gaming right there.
Ooh, I like it. Pay-to-lose gaming. I mean, some things actually do that. Like, arguably, some of the skins in Overwatch 2 are just literally pay-to-lose. Like if you get the Banana McCree skin where you're just wearing this like glowing yellow outfit, like what are you doing? Like you can spot you so much easier than if you wore like normal clothes with the default skin. So some skins are already kind of like that, and it's definitely like that in this game as well. Pay for the bragging rights. All right, that's not Zula. Get that Zula out of there, boys. Get the
Zula out of here.
Get the Zula out of there. I prefer my Chinese knockoffs to my Turkish knockoffs. All right.
Any other league? I have one bit of league news that I want to bring up. League is ending support for Windows XP and Windows Vista in May 2019. So
if you're still running XP, what the hell are you doing? All right, it's 2018. Get past that shit.
I am curious if there's anybody out there who's seriously still primarily like games on Windows XP or Windows Vista, because I don't know anybody like that.
No, but there are still a lot of people stuck in the past, and I think especially in MMO gaming, like I think the idea that like this is actually news I think for a lot of players, because I think we MMO players are typically very slow to change, and we still play old games because one of our friends, Surf, he plays Diablo. He was playing Diablo 2 for the last like week nonstop, right? He came back to Diablo 2. He's playing a 20-year-old game, Diablo 2. He's been playing like nonstop in the last week or so, and he runs Windows 7. He's playing a 20-year-old game on a 10-year-old operating system. And I feel like we MMO gamers really fit this mold pretty well. For the most part, we play Tibia still, we play Rune. Some of the most popular games are still games like Tibia, RuneScape, these old MapleStory 1, like these old MMORPGs. They're still really popular, like crazy popular actually. In fact, there's so few really successful new MMORPGs. I mean, Black Desert Online is probably the only one that comes to mind. Like Blade of the Soul is already kind of old, but like it's not even that popular compared to some of the oldies, you know?
It is still amazing what percent of Steam users play on Windows 7. So Windows 10 is the most popular by a big margin, 63%. But then number 2 here is Windows 7 at 26%. So
wow.
So combined, they are 90% of the market, but still 26.5%.
It's a lot of players for Windows. I didn't know Windows 7 was still that popular.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's pretty crazy.
It's
just crazy.
Yeah, everything else is pretty small. Like Linux, guys. Remember when Linux was supposed to be a thing?
Yeah, right.
Desktop Linux, guys. Yeah, no thanks.
Speaking about people copying Dust too, like from that Zula video earlier. This was also we talked a bit about this last week, but I read this one just today about this guy named the Backpack Kid is suing Epic Games over the dance move. So he supposedly claims he invented this something called the floss, where if it doesn't show you, but you can see where his hands are going to go, right? You're gonna kind of like swing back and forth, right? But what's funny is like he very clearly didn't invent the floss. There's a video. Look at this video. This is the first documented floss dance move.
Documented.
It's from 2012. Go to 307. You click go to 307 and pay attention to the guy on the right.
Oh, you're right.
He is literally doing that move, and this asshole douchebag kid wants to get money from Epic Games. Like, come on! You clearly didn't invent that. This kid's doing it in 2012, and this guy says he invented in 2016, like 2 years ago. Come on! Get out of here! Get out of here!
He got Ace Attorney, right?
Yeah.
Objection.
This douchebag. He looks like a douchebag, doesn't he?
He does look. He looks very serious when he's dancing. I gotta say.
He's this boy's a douchebag.
Well, did you see the Carlton dance? The Carlton is suing him too.
Well, the Carlton dance is a very signature move, all right? Arguably, he did invent that, but we talked about I don't think you can copyright these things anyway.
I want to see the Carlton dance. Oh, here it is. All right, let's find that. Oh,
that guy looks like a douchebag. I'm telling you that. Just he's got the douchebag face, and him suing that over something he clearly didn't invent makes him look even more douchey. Yeah, of course, Fortnite sells those dance emotes. But the Carlton is also stolen. He said so in an interview, Kappa. That's pretty interesting if it is.
So he stole it too?
Apparently, according to Fumiyu. But he's got the Kappa dance, I don't know. But I don't think you can copyright dance moves anyway.
Yeah, you can.
I'm pretty sure they're not going to get anything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is funny that this wasn't an issue last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it is now because Fortnite is just so big, right? Everybody wants a piece of that Fortnite money.
Yeah, but again, I think all these lawsuits will get thrown out anyway. We mentioned last week you cannot copyright dance moves. You can only copyright choreography routines. So a single dance move is not copyrightable, but an entire routine would be, at least by U.S. law. And I'm pretty sure in most like Western countries it's somewhat similar as well. So these I mean, I think they're trying to get some public sympathy, maybe for Epic Games to throw them some money. But I think Epic Games is I don't know. I think it's silly for these people to ask for. I mean, I can't blame them for trying to sue them to get money. I think we'd all do the same thing in their shoes. But I don't think Epic Games will give them a penny. I mean, this is the company that sues kids for making hacks and distributing hacks. All right, so it's good for them.
Yeah, it is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that the Epic Store wasn't gonna have reviews, user reviews at least. I know that there's a huge store war brewing for 2019. Epic Games and Discord are both trying to take a piece of Steam's pie. I wonder if that will work. I think it'll only work if Epic actually buys Discord, and then together they can be a united front against.
All right, MMOs.com prediction for 2019: Tencent and Epic Games will buy Discord and combine the Discord store with the Epic Games store to take on Steam as a unified front between like social and store.
Boom.
And by having Fortnite on your platform already, you're already like the biggest game anyway.
Yeah,
Fortnite has like over 8 million concurrent. Yeah, more people play. Fortnite gets more concurrent users than like everything on Steam combined. I think. Yeah, it does. There are more people playing like Fortnite. There are like there's 2 million players in game right now, right, on Steam, and it peaks. It looks like 4.8. We'll be generous, up to 5 million, right? It peaks about 5 million, right? I think Fortnite peaks daily with like 9 million concurrent users. So there's like twice as many people playing Fortnite than there is like literally everyone playing everything on Steam combined. So it would already be an instant like competitor to Steam, and having combine that with Epic Games and Discord, having all the social features of Discord, it could be. I mean, it would actually probably kill Steam.
Boom. There you go.
I mean, I like using Discord as well. I mean, I love Discord, so just having all my games on there would be pretty convenient too.
Oh, did you hear about the new Humble Bundle monthly thing for next year?
What is it?
So I know you're subscribed to it.
I'm a humble monthly subscriber.
Well, I don't know if it's too late now, but they had a deal: $100 one time up front, and you get 12 months all next year. So you can unsubscribe.
You save like $20. You save like $20.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Yeah, $99 for 12 months of Humble monthly games.
All right. Listen. I'm gonna make a admission on the MMOs.com podcast. We'll see if it's forgivable. All right. Here's what I've been pirating Sony Vegas for the last 10 years. Okay, it's like the Sony editing software for videos, right? I've pirated it for 10 years. However, this last week on Humble Bundle, they had a special package. If you pay $25, they give you the Sony bundle, and you have access to Sony Vegas 15, the latest version. I've been pirating this for the last 10 years. I paid $25. I paid $25 for the Sony Vegas through Humble Bundle. Now, does this absolve me of my copyright infringement for the last 10 years? I think yes. What do you think?
I think yes.
Am I clean now?
You're clean.
Am I clean?
You're
I'm clean.
The fold.
We're good?
That's how taxes work. You don't pay until you get caught, and then you pay, and you're clean, right?
Yeah, I'm clean. I paid my $25. The game. By the way, if you wanted to buy Sony Vegas, it was like $500 back in the day. And in my defense, I didn't use any of those advanced features. All I did was like basic movie maker shit. But like, yeah, obviously it was still copyright. Don't be judging me, boys. You all be downloading music and shit too in the background. So Pay the minimum. I paid my $25. I got Sony Vegas 15 on my PC. I am clean. All my sins have been forgiven. It's like a baptism, right? Like no matter what you do, if you get baptized, boom, you're clean. All right.
Yep. I think it's in the Bible.
It's in the Bible. If you pay for Sony Vegas 10 years after you pirated it, you're clean. All right. It's one of the Psalms. All right. Abraham 15:2.
There you go. My favorite verse.
Humble baptize. All right.
I'm actually I'm glad that they're doing stuff like this. There are a few other programs that I've never bought that I might at the right price. You know what one of them is? Adobe Suit. It's $50 a month now, but they have a student discount. It's like $20 a month. If it was $20 a month with like let's say 3 concurrent users allowed, I think I would pay for it. I really think I would pay for it, but I'm not paying $50 for one. No way.
Yeah, I mean, if you use the Adobe suite of everything, it makes sense. I mean, but we don't really use anything through Adobe. I mean, I'd be willing to listen. Before people start judging me as a pirate, I want you to know I pay for Fraps, and I've been using the same paid version of Fraps for the last 10 years to watermark and take screenshots of all the games on MMOs.com. All right, I pay for most things.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't pay for WinRAR though.
No, well, you get 7-zip now.
How do y'all sleep at night without paying for WinRAR? All right, yeah, that's right. I use 7-zip it now, so I don't feel bad. Every time that window came up saying WinRAR is not free software, and you just close it out, I want you to know you are taking food out of that man's baby's mouth. All right, you're depriving that man who made WinRAR. All right. It says WinRAR is not free every single time that message came up. Well, WinRAR is not free, baby rage.
Let's go back to games for a quick hot second.
All right, hot second. Let's go.
We got another game. Perhaps the only game that actually fits the MMO FPS title, PlanetSide, jumping on the Battle Royale bandwagon with their own take on it. It's called PlanetSide Arena, sci-fi Battle Royale. And what's the claim to fame here? I think it's in a 500 players or something?
Yeah, really the only difference here is like the one thing in this game is it's a 500 player Battle Royale mode, which is kind of cool. But what's remarkable about this one is it's a buy-to-play game, which costs like $20 if you pre-order and $30 at launch. But what's crazy is it's not really a new game. It really does feel like Daybreak just took PlanetSide 2 and like cut it up into pieces, right? It cut up into game mode.
You're right.
It looks the exact same. It has the same classes, same weapons, same everything as PlanetSide, which is free to play, right? And they just cut it up into multiple pieces. You can play a deathmatch mode, you can play a battle royale mode. It's the same exact game. But obviously, PlanetSide on the other hand was way more ambitious, right? Because PlanetSide is an actual MMO FPS game, one of the only MMO FPS games out there. So it took a very ambitious title and just kind of cut it down into the modes that people want to play in a more action-packed environment. Curious. I mean, honestly, none of the game modes are interesting, but the Battle Royale mode, only because 500-player Battle Royale is kind of cool, though. You got to hand to them. At least that seems a little different.
And it's coming out in a month, which is not too long of a wait, so that's good. Yeah, I'm a little skeptical on the price. Oh, must rush B. There it is. Have you guys seen the HyTale trailer? I haven't, actually. I've heard of the game, though. It's a group of modders for Minecraft. They actually... What is it called? I already forgot. HyTale. There it is.
HyTale. It looks like just Minecraft. Is it Minecraft mod or...
No, it's a separate game. And it's by people who got their start making mods for...
Ooh, it looks really pretty. I mean, it looks very much
let's watch
like...
this.
Yeah.
I haven't seen this yet, so I want to see it anyway. Yeah, it looks just like Minecraft.
It's like a Minecraft clone. Playing building, sharing mods, custom content. So it's trying to be like a more, I guess, modern. I mean, Minecraft is already very modder friendly already. So interesting.
I like the farm aspect.
It looks beautiful, but it looks like such a Minecraft clone. But there's been a lot of Minecraft clones out there. I mean, HyTale has got some credibility if it's by some of the people that made Minecraft, or at least they worked on it. There's been a lot of like Minecraft clones over the years, and none of them really took off. You know, Minecraft is one of the biggest games in the world. So it's gonna be very hard, even if it's slightly better. I mean, visually it looks beautiful. But like, I don't know, it's gonna be very tough to take any share away from Minecraft.
Do we know when this is coming out?
Riot Games invested in them too, apparently. Well, Dedicated Doc says 2016 was the year of the MOBA, 2017 was the year of the early access survival, 2018 was the year of the battleground FPS. What will 2019 be? What do you think, Altai?
What will 2019 be?
Yeah.
It's a good question. Can I answer next week before the year ends?
Fine. We can think about it a bit more.
All right.
I'll tell you what. 2019 will not be the year of Star Citizen. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and bet that game is not coming out next year. All right.
That's a safe bet.
That's a safe bet. I'll roll over my winnings from saying it wasn't gonna come out this year into next year. I'm doubling down everything I had in the line on this one. The year of mobile. It's already every year is the year of mobile. We've already looked at how just crazy these mobile games are already. Like I said, Fire Emblem Heroes making as much money as every Fire Emblem game ever made combined is insane.
I would love for games like this to be more common because, remember we talked about this before, but all the new genres basically come from modders, right?
Yep.
Whether it's Counter-Strike, whether it's MOBA, Battle Royale, right? So if these guys start as modders and they make this, somebody's going to use this to make more mods.
Ooh, live scripting built in. These mod tools are built in, and it's got social elements built in. HyTale is going to be a big success. I'm calling it. Seeing this video makes me say, like, I would invest. They take my money, HyTale. These guys are going to make money. I think they're trying to capture, like, the hangout element. Like, a lot of people play Minecraft to hang out, not really to play the game. And Fortnite as well. If you can hang out in a world where you can script into the game directly, like, right from the get-go, if it's so open to modding, like, out of the box, that's going to be amazing, I think. Like, look, like I said, every single big genre has come out of modding. Whether it was Battle Royale, whether it was MOBA or Tower Defense. All three concepts are billion-dollar industries today, created by mods for, like, RTS games and their old games. So I think the next big thing is going to come from modding as well. I mean, it's almost like they're going to take what Minecraft became and make it a more mod-friendly game. And it's going to be very heavy on player-created content, as we saw in this trailer. So this could be huge.
Yeah, it looks exciting. A few other companies in the past have tried to kind of dethrone Minecraft in this genre.
Yeah.
I remember there was one we played on where that shut down before actually launching. What was it called? Sky?
Ooh, yeah. It was by the people that made Crossfire, Smilegate.
Yeah. Well, they owned the UK studio that was making it. Sky something, right? Sky
Yeah.
Saga. Sky Saga.
Sky Saga, yes.
And this game, you know what? Okay, here's the problem with Sky Saga, guys. They had I think I got an email from them saying, "Hey guys, we just launched Alpha 15 or something."
Yes, I had. We pointed out too in our previous podcast, like many years, like over a year ago. But yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah, you can't have an Alpha 15. You got to launch at some point, and they never launched. And so I'm hoping HyTale after this reveal, they launch because I just read the FAQ live while we were talking, and it says they have no date yet. Which it's fine not to have a precise date, but you should at least know the year the game will come out by now. So I hope they don't drag their feet like this game did. Because remember, when I first played Alpha 1 for this game, I was like, wow, this looks like Minecraft but better graphics. What's not to like, right? Like if you like Minecraft, you'll love this. But then
there's more combat stuff too. Yeah.
But then 4 years later, there's still an alpha. So I was like, all right, whatever.
Yeah. Sky. My email. I can see Sky Saga Alpha 9 is here as of August 2016. That's when Alpha 9 was out.
Oh, there's more. Don't worry. Look, there's like Alpha 10. This trailer shows them all. Alpha 10. Let's see, Alpha 11. Oh no, there's no Alpha 11 in this one.
Oh, Alpha 10.
Yeah. What is that? You can't have 10 alphas. Come on.
Yeah. Then you have Atlas announcing itself and launching in like 2 weeks. That's what I like.
Yep.
What do you think with the year of the new dodgy monetization? I do think monetization is going to push boundaries in 2019. Previously like sacred concepts of like pay to win that wasn't like enroached on PC, I think can be like those lines will be crossed, I think, in 2019. It happens in China all the time.
Infinite alpha.
Infinite alpha. There you go. I like it, Must Rush B. But then again, isn't Warframe still in beta, or is that meme over yet?
Well, look, some kind of ongoing open beta is whatever. But they just, I don't know. These Sky Saga people took way too long. And I remember I read their press release when they got shut down by the Chinese owners, or the Korean owners. My bad.
Yeah.
And they said like, "Oh no, we just needed a little more time. I can't believe they're doing this. It's very unfair. Like, we hope we can find." Like, come on, guys, you had all this time. Why aren't you launching?
Makes no sense. Yeah, they took way too long. Nope, still beta for Warframe. All right, the cool core. I'm glad the meme is still alive. That Warframe is still technically in beta. John Doe, I'm not optimistic for VR just yet. I like the concept, but I think we have to give it at least 5 years. I think. The problem is the tech is way behind still.
5 years?
Way better resolution.
No
at
way.
least 5 years.
At least 15 years.
Maybe. I mean, 2018, I guess, showed us what VR can do, but nothing practical or interesting will come out of VR for a long time, I think. But it showed what it can do. Me too, Must Rush B. If that game went to Kickstarter or some bullshit, yeah, it would have been nonsense. But the fact that they got backing, look, if you want to make a game and you're capable, there's money out there for you to have. Like companies like Riot Games, like we've talked. I don't know if we talk too much about the financial aspect of like I'll try to talk about this a lot, like off podcast. There is so much money slushing around in gaming right now, where game companies are eager to invest in new studios. Basically, they have a lot of big pile of cash they want to deploy into new ideas, which they can't develop themselves. So there is so much money out there for aspiring game developers if they have the know-how, the credibility to build a good team. So there's resources out there. So when a company goes to Kickstarter, you know what that tells you? At least when it comes to like MMOs and these big budget games, when a game is on Kickstarter, it automatically tells you that they're too incompetent or incapable of raising money from real game companies, because the money's out there and eager to be spent. But if you can't raise money from them, it means you just don't have the know-how to make the game. And that describes some of our games that are in Kickstarter land very well. You know, Chronicles of Illyria, the guy has no experience making games. The Astro Creation never made a game before. You know, a lot of these people that are doing Kickstarter are doing it because they can't find money elsewhere. At least, what's his name? The Camelot Chain guy. He's raised money from the Kickstarter as well as from real game companies too. Yeah. And his ambition is a lot, like lower. It's more realistic.
I think it's too easy for us to be told one side of the story about how publishers or whatever are bad, right? And they're they can go extreme too much in one way, but there's also the other extreme. You know, there's if you leave it to the creative type, like the artist, right? Like the Chris Roberts, right? I have no doubt he's a very creative guy. He was very successful in the past, but he clearly is somebody who needs to be reined in. Like his energy needs to be focused. And when he's the boss and nobody can tell him what, hey, we got a ship, he's gonna go on forever. He'll invent new features to add to his game forever. He'll never launch. So I think there is value in the publisher, the investor, kind of narrowing your focus and getting the product actually made.
There's also Hideo Kojima as well. I mean, everyone reveres him. I mean, we played Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and I played 1, 2, and 3. I haven't played 4 and 5. I've only played 1, 2, and 3. And I've played them extensively. I mean, I've beaten 2 at least twice. I beat 1 at least twice as well. Like, these are really good games, and obviously Hideo Kojima, is rightfully respected by a lot of gamers. But I'm curious to see where Death Stranding will take us, because of all the stuff I read about Metal Gear Solid 5 and how long it took to come out, and you can't leave it purely to the artist. There's a good balance in the world between all these forces at work.
Yep. We shall see.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anything else? I got a story.
All right, what do you got, Altai?
So,
it's been a light week for me.
One of our favorite, and Omer's favorite specifically, gaming peripheral companies is Razer. He's a big fan of the Death Adder, right?
I love the Death Adder. My favorite mouse. I've been rocking this mouse for like 8 years now.
Yep.
I've bought a few new ones, but I'm never going to switch mice. It just works. I have no reason to even try other mice. I'm happy with it.
So they launched. They have keyboards as well, other peripherals, right? But they launched a very odd one recently that I thought was odd. So Razer is launching a router. I've always wanted a gamer branded router. That's what I always dream about when I think about how I can up my game, right? Who asked for this? Who asked for a Razer router?
Here's the spiel. Okay, I don't care about these bullshit features about the Razer router, but if it can do this, I'll be impressed. If like I have a Razer router, and I go to host a game on Warcraft 3, or I want to host a game on NetPlay on Dolphin, and it says you're trying to use port number 7762, but it is closed. Would you like to Razer router to open the port automatically for you for your local IP? Yes or no? If you click yes, and it can port forward in one click on Windows, you know what? I'll be impressed. That's a good gamer feature, which I doubt it's going to have. All right? If it had that, I'd be impressed.
It looks like a console, kind of. It looks pretty sleek, I got to say.
I like what Shart Vandalay just said. I buy a Razer brand toilet paper because I'm a real gamer. Made with real razors. It is. All their RGB stuff is kind of cringy. And their messaging of being a real gamer is definitely kind of cringy. I use a DOS keyboard, and my headset is Audio Technica. I love the Death Adder. That's my shill for Razer. They're not paying me, but this is my favorite mouse. Love this mouse. But I've had one of their headphones. I didn't like it. It broke very quickly on me.
They're garbage. Razer headphones are garbage.
I've never had a good Razer headphone. I've had 2 of them.
Any headphone where this part here is hard plastic is garbage, because when you take them off, they crack. So I always get these soft ones now that kind of stretch.
Mm-hmm. Who asked for this? Good question.
Nobody asked for it.
But hey, if it's a good router, good for them. But I don't know. I feel like it almost feels like it makes. We've already been seeing gaming routers for a while. You had the Nighthawk, I forgot who the Netgear makes the Nighthawk. This game. When they slap the word gamer on it, the price goes up double. The biggest scam in in game in PC hardware is the gamer tag. When you throw something gamer, it raised the price. The biggest scam is gamer motherboards. That's the biggest scam. It's so stupid. You pay $250 for a motherboard. Like, you must be like, you have too much money. Those features, like, do you need 4 PCIe times 16 slots? Do you need 4 of those? Are you gonna rock 4 GTX 280s?
No.
2080s? No, of course not. Like, you don't need 4 of those. You don't need 15 PCIe. Like, it's nonsense. Like, if you compare like a $30 Fisher Price motherboard to a $300 Asus Reign of Gaming Big Dick Edition, guess what? On all the benchmarks, it's the exact same. You get no benefit. All you get is the extra slots they offer, which is fine. You know, if you need Bluetooth, if you need wireless built into your motherboard, you need this built. Fine, get that. But you can get that for like less than $300. I don't know. Anyone that pays $300 for the gamer motherboard. I mean, if you want to go big dick, you spend money on everything, fine. But just know you're not paying for anything.
Dude,
I think
how
applies
will
for the
people know
as
how
well.
good I am at games if my motherboard doesn't have lights on, RGB on it? All right.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go.
All right. Well, that was my last one. I'm looking forward to Atlas tomorrow, and yeah, that's about it. Anything else?
Yeah, that's it for me. It's been a pretty light week on news this week.
All right, fair enough. So then we will transition into the post game, guys. Thanks for watching.
All right, thanks for watching, everyone. To the post game. And now we can play some more Destiny's Child, my favorite mobile game.